Alrighty, hi everyone. My name is Joyce, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to price your artwork. So, I'm just going to give some perspective from studying abroad. I studied at Sotheby's Institute of Art in London about 2 years ago. I did an art business program there, and I also did my graduate diploma at the Royal College of Art in London. This is just some perspective on what I've learned over the years. I'm by no means an expert, but I've just been receiving this question a lot, so I thought I might talk about it. So, how to price your artwork. I really encourage artists to really think about their why. Like, why do they want to sell artwork? And the answer may seem pretty obvious, but at the same time, I think it's really important to just dig deep into your why. Like, if you are an artist, like, why do you want to be an artist? Like, I think it's everyone's dream to be able to wake up and do something that they love every day for a living. But I think your why can really affect how you price your artwork, because if you want to price your artwork so it's affordable for other people to be able to purchase it, that will definitely play a role in, are you going to be selling prints for $15 versus $1,500? Are you going to be selling your originals, or are you going to keep your originals and just try to sell your art on products or prints? So I encourage you to read this book, Start With Why, by Simon Sinek. And another really, really great book, I have it right here. It's The Business of Being an Artist. I cannot emphasize enough how great this book is. I know today's day and age is a lot different now with, NFTs and things, you know, being online, but this book, it's about $20. Really, really great investment for artists who are looking to start their own businesses, or just a really great read, like helping you understand the art markets better in the industry. Another really, really, really great video I've watched recently is by Matthew Sorgi. Like, I've seen so many videos on how to price your artwork, and there's this whole like formula of things that you need to calculate in order to, have the ideal price. But I just really like how he just articulated it. He started a full-time art career at the age of 18. So if you haven't seen this video, highly recommend checking it out. We're not going to watch it, but you can watch it on YouTube. All right, so this piece is actually my first commission. This is the first piece I've ever commissioned, and it was for a family friend, and it was just such a joy to paint. Like, I loved painting this piece so much because it means so a lot to my friend who I painted it for, and this lion was seen on like an African safari when she went to Africa, and the eyes like were different colors. So it was really cool to be able to like hear her story and paint this picture. But so I guess like with pricing wise, so this piece was like something that I had so much fun doing myself. But the fact that I was commissioned, I was like, oh, okay, like that's great. Like I really am grateful that someone would be willing to like pay money for my art. So this sold for $200, and I was thinking about this. Like, this was sold about 2 years ago. Like, if I did the same painting today, I definitely think my prices would be higher than 200. Um, but at the same time, I was like, wow, 200, like that's so much. Like, I've never been paid that much for a piece of artwork before. Um, so like, I think a lot of artists starting out, they don't really know their worth. So they are willing to, sell their work for lower prices. And over time, it is natural to increase your prices, and you should increase your prices, because as you are improving your craft, you should be reminding your buyer that you are offering more value for your artwork. So this is my first commission. These are my two second commissions. Each were $150, so together were $300. Um, and yeah, they're really fun to make as well. And I think, yeah, if I were to do this again, I would definitely price it more. And I feel like my skills would be more improved than they were 2 years ago. Now, I want to bring up this piece because I actually made this piece when I was in high school, and it's so interesting because, like, just the symbolism of this piece, like, who would have thought that we would have a global pandemic and everything would be online and just so much human suffering? And I think this piece really represents so much, and it's just such a personal piece to me, um, that I never thought that I would be pursuing like a career in, art and design. Um, and yeah, this kind of represents that struggle between, what is practical versus like what are you passionate about? And I think it's so important for artists to find that balance because as passionate as you may be about something, it may not necessarily pay the bills. And so artists are thinking about how can I price my artwork to, make a living, right? Um, so I just put this here because a friend of mine said that she saw this piece on Instagram and I was like, oh, where? And she was like, yeah, someone posted this. So I think someone took a screenshot of my art and posted it somewhere. So if you ever see this artwork floating around on the internet and it's not my account, I'm like just really curious because like I kind of feel like very, I feel grateful. Like I don't feel like someone's like stealing my artwork because like for me, this work is priceless. Like I would love for people that were in my like in the place that I was like many years ago of like having this struggle, so if this is like an encouraging piece to someone, like, yeah, I don't feel like someone would be stealing it to take a screenshot and share it with others. But I do wish that I had written my signature. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Like, put your signature on your pieces. I don't always do that, so I need to remind myself. But anyway, back to price. So when I think of this piece, it's priceless to me. But if someone is willing to pay for it, like that's great. Um, but it's really up to you. Like with the point of this video is to just kind of bring it back to start with your why and like why are you doing this? Like, do you want your art to be affordable for people, or do you want to make lots of money? So how much is your time worth? I think it's important to also think about the time that you put into your work and also the material cost. So there's so many different things to factor in, but I think a big thing, the most important thing is how much is your time worth? Um, I don't always encourage artists to like charge hourly. I think that may be like a good starting point if you're just starting off with your art practice, but um, in terms of like the value, there's so many factors that go into it. Experience, time, like maybe you've graduated from art an art institute, maybe you haven't. Just think about many different things. Don't just think about you know hourly, or don't just think about, well, this piece before like I sold this time. You need to just think about the whole picture of what you're trying to do. Also think supply and demand, taking it back to basic economics. Your piece, you may want to sell it right away, um, but if you can, I encourage you to keep it as long as you can because the value will just keep on increasing for that painting that you made. You can sell prints, and if you do want to sell the original, I mean, I'm not going to say like don't sell the original, but I just encourage you, if you can, to not sell your originals. Originals. Prints. So I've seen prints sold for $10, $15, $45. But on Phaidon, I hope I'm saying that correctly, PHAIDON.com, I saw prints selling for thousands. So it's once again up to you. And it takes time to be able to get to that point where you're selling prints for that high of prices. But um, yeah, it depends. So there's no like, oh, this is the exact price that you need to sell your prints for. It's up to you. Like these are your prints, if people are willing to buy these prints from you for that amount or the originals for that amount, then that's great. But if not, then you have to start reconsidering, okay, maybe I should lower my prices or maybe I shouldn't. And I just want to encourage you to just keep producing. It's really a trial and error thing. There's like no right answer. Like I'm no expert in this at all, but I just want to share from what I've observed and from my own personal experience. Art and anything, art business, whatever you do, it takes time to to grow, and the more that you learn and grow, your practice is going to keep growing, and you'll be able to gradually increase your prices if people are willing to pay for them. But I also want to remind you, art is priceless. Like, it's so easy to get like boggled down over the numbers and everything, but just remind yourself like why you are creating art, and um, just want to remind you that art is priceless. So think about value first, then price later, instead of thinking about price first and value. And that is all I have to share. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about my experience at Sotheby's or RCA, please leave a comment down below, and thank you for watching this video.